Hey, what's going on, people? It's SGZ here from the SpartanGameZone, and in this video we'll be counting down the top 10 legendary pistols in Borderlands 3, the small guns with big hearts. And I'll be telling you who has an increased chance to drop them, and let you know what they do and how you can get them hitting their hardest. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like, and if you're finding these videos entertaining or helpful and you're not subscribed, hitting that sub button would be awesome. Weirdest and Wackiest Weapons Part 2 will be up sometime midweek also, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what your favourite pistol is, and feel free to hit me up on Twitter at SpartanGameZone. It's a little lonely over there, and let's crack into it. We open this countdown of the top 10 legendary pistols in Borderlands 3 with the Psycho Stabber, a COV pistol that fires Nerf bullets, but is equipped with a mighty blade that you can only get by defeating Borman nades you fight here in the Meridian outskirts. The Psycho Stabber is the game's premier melee weapon, increasing your melee damage by 340% while it is in your hands. Not everyone has a use for this gun, but there is no doubt that Amara does, able to use it to enhance phase flare to incredible heights. It's best with the 390 anointment, which turns its 340% melee boost up over 1000, allowing you to down the toughest enemies in the game without even breaking a sweat. It's a fantastic utility for that build and for anyone who wants to get up close and personal. Now for the Hornet, the lone dull pistol in this countdown, which always comes in corrosive and has an increased chance to drop from the Mother of Grogans you fight around here in the Anvil. It makes a return from its Borderlands 2 version, but packs a little more oomph. It fires explosive projectiles in a quick fire 6-round burst that explode on impact. Your enemies won't want to be stung by it, as each burst brings with it some hefty damage, enough to defeat tough opponents in a few concentrated bursts. Like the Breath of the Dying, it's a fantastic gun at stripping armor, and doesn't shy away from other health bars either. At number 8 is the Maggie, a steadfast Jacob's pistol that has an increased chance to drop from Turnkey Tim you fight around here in Floodmore Basin. You don't want to mess with the Maggie. I mean, she shot Mr. Burns, and it was this gun she was using when she shot him. It's a multi-pelleted pistol, a shotgun in a small package with the mobility and fire rate of a handgun. It's one of the most damaging pistols in the game, masterfully aided by the Jacobs manufacturer trait, which makes criticals even more deadly. That makes it a great gun on flak, but heck, it's great on anyone, hitting hard without any bells or whistles, and is incredible value for ammo. Following up the Maggie is the Lucky 7, a DLC 1 exclusive Jacobs weapon that has an increased chance to drop from Scrap Trap Prime you fight around here in the Compactor. The Lucky 7 is an absolute power-packed machine whenever its reload blesses you with a god roll. Each time you insert another set of rounds, you have a chance to have a bonus applied. It used to be 25%, but thanks to the same hotfix that affected the Hydra Frost, your chances now are even more in your favour. There's 5 in total, which include explosive rounds, always critical ricocheting amp shots, elemental type, fully auto, and 7 pellets. The last one on its own increases its damage by 6-fold, and you'll certainly see a dramatic difference mag on mag. There's one Vault Hunter who won't though, and that's Mose, who once on a god roll will never lose it. That god roll consists of 7 pellets and explosive rounds, and once obtained is easily one of her best legendary weapons. At number 6, it's the Hellshock, a rapid fire pistol that has an increased chance to drop from Vermalingua you fight around here as part of the quest, the Homestead Part 2. The Hellshock is a rapid fire menace that always comes in incendiary and shock elements that you can change at will. It burns through flesh and drains shields at an incredible rate. Enemies will crumble beneath you whenever you have it in your hands. You don't even need to change elements when you're up against the wrong health bar, as its ricochet effect causes elements to change to the alternative type when on contact with a world surface, so you can just shoot at the floor. That really isn't required though, because it'll be able to cut through anyone with either of its elements, and it's a great gun, definitely one of my favorites. Halfway through and it's the Prompt Critical, another DLC 3 exclusive pistol which has an increased chance to drop from the lava is rising, get to high ground. You fight around here in Castle Crimson. The Prompt Critical is an extremely damaging explosive pistol that shoots first and asks questions later. Its unique effect combines with the standard Siki mode of Torg weapons to give it even more power, as reloading will cause a secondary explosion relative to the amount of bombs applied. It can come in every element including non-elemental, and it also comes in ×3 or ×4 variants, with the latter consuming an extra bullet. But because of how its effect works, a ×3 variant is best, as you can land more shots before having to reload, giving it some extra grunt, and it's a top choice pistol for Moes. In 4th place is the Baby Maker, a TDR pistol which received a massive buff just a couple of days ago, which catapulted it from off this list to near the top. It can come in any element including non-elemental, and has an increased chance to drop from Broodmother, who you fight here in the Pyre of the Stars. Like most TDR weapons, the Baby Maker fires slowly, but it hits hard. You won't waste a shot, as each bullet is designed to bring maximum pain. It comes equipped with 2 modes, although they're not listed anywhere, it just depends on how you use it. While mobbing, its DPS is great, and the gun can comfortably take on enemies without even tapping into its reload effect. The effect in question causes 4 of its offspring to spawn and target surrounding enemies, and depending on the gun they'll assault from the ground or the air, the aerial attack being the better choice. Prompting this effect early into your magazine will cause each of the spawned guns to consume a magazine's worth of bullets, but charge them up to their max. While mobbing, I find that overkill, causing you to run dry before your time, but when taking on a boss, it'll absolutely obliterate them in no time at all. Sitting in 3rd place is the Beacon, an elemental pistol that is exclusive to DLC 3 and has an increased chance to drop from Jarek Logan. You fight around here in Bloodsun Canyon. The Beacon is like a transformed Hellshock, handling in the same vein but firing mini splash damage orbs with a higher base damage. It can come in every element, in 2 of them that you can switch between, and it also produces elemental novas on reload. The splash damage is what takes this thing above and beyond the Hellshock. It's another area that you can tap into and use to your advantage. Amara has a couple of skills to help with that, but Moes has a whole tree. Although the Prompt Critical is generally better on her, it's a great rapid fire alternative and rides high in the hands of other Vault Hunters. The Tizzy is at number 2, yet another COV pistol. This one can come in every element and is exclusive to Arms Race, dropping anywhere there with an increased chance to drop from this chest. The Tizzy is a gun that signifies raw power, as it becomes increasingly more aggressive the longer you hold down the trigger. Its fire rate is incredible, steadily increasing to an unbelievable speed as it surpasses its overheat cap, completely ignoring it and annihilating your target. It's a gun made for bossing, as mobs aren't a challenge for it at all. Like most COV weapons, it comes in a couple of key variants. These ones are ×2 or ×3, consuming 2 or 3 bullets respectively, and there really is no wrong choice, as each one comes packed to the brim with devastating damage potential. Before number 1 is discovered, let's go over some honourable mentions. First up is the Unkempt Herald, which can come in any element including non-elemental, is another gun exclusive to DLC 3 and has an increased chance to drop from Cabadord, who you fight around here in Bloodsun Canyon. When the Unkempt Herald came along, it was a nostalgia trip for many Borderlands fans and gave modes a bludgeoning, explosive pistol. Little did we know it would be overshadowed just one DLC later, and that's why it's down here, but it still remains a great gun. You can get one with ×3 or ×4 on the card, and they correspond to the amount of ammo consumed per shot. It fires a large amount of explosive projectiles along a linear plane, which expand as they travel. Get in that own zone where all projectiles converge on your target's crit, and it will blow them to pieces. Up next we have the Hydra Frost, a crazy pistol exclusive to DLC 2, and can only be obtained by defeating Chivalrous the Unscathed, a respawn enemy that you find around here in Nagul Nashai. COV has made a habit of creating some of the game's craziest pistols, and the Hydra Frost is no different. It received a buff about a month ago which made it even better. It initially fires ice cold rounds, but when you get a kill it'll also unleash zapping and flaming rounds to go with it, which deal double the damage and last for over 6 seconds, although the card hasn't been updated to reflect that. It fires 3, 4 or 5 pellets consuming 2, 3 or 4 ammo per shot, and it fires them at a blistering speed. It has insane DPS, particularly on the mobbing front where you can constantly activate its kill skill, but unfortunately due to its heavy cost of ammo, its time in your hands is considerably short. The next honourable mention I have is the Gargoyle, another COV pistol which can only ever come in corrosive. It can be found in DLC 3 by defeating Dick and Goyle. You fight around here in Bloodsun Canyon. A gargoyle isn't just a grotesque medieval sculpture, it's also a powerful Borderlands 3 pistol. The gun's just as ugly, but ugly can be beautiful. It's an acid queen propelling corrosive sticky bombs from its barrel that damage your enemies on contact and explode later on for even more damage. But that's not it, it'll also projectile vomit green sludge on occasion that completely engulf your enemies and hit extremely hard. Its variants range from 1 to 3 pellets consuming 2 to 4 bullets, and I find that the 1x variant is generally my go-to. When you combine all of its damage sources, it adds up into a formidable weapon, capable of monstering mobs with ease, and it's perfectly capable on the bossing front too. The last honourable mention I have for you is the Craps, a DLC 1 Torgue pistol that can come in any element including non-elemental, and drops the quickest from Jackpot, who you fight in the VIP tower. Just like the Lucky 7, luck has a major role to play in the damage you deal. That's because it typically fires just the 1 projectile per shot, but also occasionally fires 5 for no extra cost. The 5 projectiles are fired in a circular pattern and deal huge damage on impact. They happen every 6 or so shots and heavily increase its overall DPS, even more so on modes. It has the usual 2 firing modes, Sticky and Impact, where Impact serves best as you receive that instant damage on any supercharged round. We're here, we've made it, and which legendary pistol wears the crown? It's none other than the Light Show, a DLC 3 pistol that can come in all available flavours and has an increased chance to drop from Lazodactyl. You fight around here in the Obsidian Forest. Light Show is a gun that will never let you down, firing 4 pellets which sparkle from its barrel and cut a circular ring of bullets into your enemies. It has absolutely no recoil whatsoever, making it incredibly easy to use and dish out heavy damage at all ranges. Because of its projectile pattern, it's difficult to get every pellet hitting crits, but they come out at such a speed and land with such force that it doesn't even matter. Its multiple pellets make it great at proccing a number of abilities across every Vault Hunter and initiate the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge's peak damage boost almost instantly. There's the perfect Light Show for every situation, and it'll clear a path through mobs or eliminate a boss with equal poise and precision. So that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned of the top 10 legendary pistols in Borderlands 3. If you did, consider dropping a like or subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.